I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this show.
The sickest night ever.
Is this?
What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise. That's a 3-time podcast host. And to all of our listeners out there that made it through year one of the podcast, I just want to thank you. We've had so much fun, and we've had so many exciting experiences, and I really just want to thank everybody for being a part. This whole first year has been a blast. You know, we put out an episode every Monday, and just having people on and talking and sending emails and coming up with different subjects and some of the ideas that Colton and I have thrown back and forth for year two, or even some of the ones we've covered in year one. It's been a blast doing this with you, Colton, and I'm excited for what we've already recorded for 52. It sounds like it's going to be a really fun episode to listen back to, and you know, I feel like we spent a lot of hours down here already just on this one episode, and it's nice to sit here and do 51 and just kind of relax and do something a little bit more laid back on the chill side. So
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I am, this is this mile marker, this milestone that we're hitting is, all thanks to not only to the emperor, but mostly to the listeners, and the feedback we get from them is kind of what drives this podcast. And it's just a fantastic time. I can't believe that we made it this far. I thought we'd be done long ago, but
Yeah.
man, I love you, man. This is great. I hope we get to do this much longer. I'm excited for the next year and the ideas we already have, trying to
Yeah.
figure those out. So
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to this one, doing the podcast of us standing next to each other. I
oh
think
my
it's gonna be
gosh, I
hilarious.
don't know why you want to do that one
I don't
so
know.
bad.
I just think
But-
people don't understand how much taller Colton is than I am, and I think it's just funny. So it'll happen.
my.
It'll happen. Just spend
Oh
a weekend.
my.
Spend a weekend at your house, and we'll just do it.
Dude, I'd be down for that. So
So we got,
So,
like
yeah,
I said,
man.
plenty of good ideas coming up in here for year two, and I'm excited to see where that takes us. And I'm excited for all you. We have a lot of emails to cover before we
Yes,
get
we do.
into what we're going to be talking about. So I'm just gonna start it out. I'm gonna start out. We had somebody come back, and that is ISO Cam, and the first line of the email just says, "As you can see, I am not dead.
Yes, let's go.
I am
Cam.
glad you are not away from this earth, Cam. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you sent us a couple emails, which I'm going to cover." He said, "I decided to let some episodes pile up. I needed some work listens. I have a small little complaint. The car movie list you guys had, Transformers, nowhere to be found. Easily my number one. I also saw that Ant-Man movie, loved it. The reviews were bugging, or are bugging. And my favorite 2 movie quotes are, want to see my secret freckle, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and what's your favorite scary movie? Scream, both, obviously a classic. Maybe even a little spritz of English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? From Pulp Fiction. Nice to be back talking to y'all. Congrats on the Super Bowl, Gunner. Thanks, Cam. And congrats on Tatum having the all-time high in an all-star game, Colton."
Thank you, ISO Cam. Yep. Thanks for reaching out to us at thecallguyspodcast at gmail.com, man. I watched that whole all-star debacle of a game, and Tatum just kept going and going and going. And I was like, yes. Get that Kobe Bryant MVP trophy. So got dropped 55. So that's, even though there's not a lot of defense that was played, it's still kind of hard to do. So yeah, that just... Gunner, I know we got another one from him. So
I'm just thinking, as I've read this multiple times now, this is probably my favorite email, one of my favorites that we've gotten.
oh yeah,
And-
it's good.
I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. It's gonna be kind of, if you're watching YouTube, that is the picture we got on this email.
Do you think we
Cam-
should ask him if we could show his dog?
Oh, sorry, Cam. I showed your dog on the podcast.
If you could just let us know at thecallguyspodcast at gmail.com that was cool, just feel
Just
free
let
to
us
drop
know.
just let us know.
Well, it's gonna be cool because we got a new mascot for the Call Guys podcast.
Yes, we do.
And that is this dog, and there's a reason. So his email says, we've got a new dog at my house. And in honor of the call, guys, well, I guess Gunner. Sorry, Colton. I have named my dog, drum roll, Colton or Gunner. Actually, it's Chico. He named his dog Chico. And he
Oh,
said he named him Chico because the dog looks like he's Mexican, and Chico means boy, and he is a boy. So that makes complete sense. So
yes, it
I love
does.
it. I love it. I love that you named your dog after me. I actually have a weird story that from when I was, oh gosh, probably 16. I got a message from a guy in LA, which sounds weird as a kid getting a message from an older man in LA.
Yes, it
But
does.
he messaged me and he was asking about my name and if I'd ever been bullied because of my name or anything like that. He really liked my name. And it was the most random message. I still have this guy as a friend on Facebook. He named his son Gunner after I told him that my name was it was fine. Never got bullied for my name or
That's
anything.
weird,
Yeah.
bro.
And he's got Gunner, Hunter, and Archer are his sons. And I just thought that was
Ooh.
a really cool thing. Experience, I guess. Kind of an odd experience, but still fun. But
Oh my.
Cam, thank you for the emails. I'm happy you're back. I'm hoping you don't let them pile up too much anymore because we love reading your emails, and thanks for naming your dog after me. I love it. So
That's awesome. I think ISOCAM is a front runner for best emailer next
oh yeah.
to our next emailer here.
Yes.
Um, a real day oneer, real OG, Arian.
Yes.
She starts us off with just title episode 50. Hi guys. I know that this is late and I did message him separately, but happy birthday, Jeremy. Happy birthday, Emperor, again.
Yeah.
I think now hearing the story of his documentary title, mine would be titled The Story of the Ninja Chicken. When I was a kid, we were out at my grandpa Dick's house and he kept telling all the cousins that there were ninja chickens in the woods. All the adults were going along with it so convincingly that we all started to believe it. Ooh.
Nice.
Over the last year, my favorite two episodes that I have rewatched are Beer 30 and This Is Halloween. I love the guests and the banter. Those were great episodes.
They were.
Great episodes, guys. Can't wait for year one. Arian, as always, thanks for reaching out to us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. I would like to hear more on this ninja chicken story. So hopefully we can hear more in another email or meet up sometime and we could talk about it because that sounds interesting.
Ninja chickens.
Oh yeah, so there's that one, and then we have one from another day oneer OG of the of the call guys, and that is CT1209.
Mhm.
And Chris, I just read the beginning. It's titled For Colton. It goes
Or Colton.
Vanilla Bean. Tom Hanks movie Road to Perdition is an excellent mafia film, but more circa 1920s. CT1209. I haven't seen that movie, but I have heard about that movie. I just haven't watched it. So
Put it on the list.
I'll put it on the list because I am always down for a good mobster movie. So yeah, Chris, thanks for reaching out to us. You need to let us know when your podcast is going to get off the ground, if it ever is going to get off the ground, because I'd love to be on it. Even though I would be way out of my depths with you guys. So, yeah, you guys, that would be fun. But I'm actually just kind of looking forward to listening to it. And feel free to hit us up. You know where to hit us up at. So just
Yeah.
I'm excited. I hope everything's going well, and I hope you're able to get it off the ground and get it going. So just know that I'm excited and waiting for that invite. So
At the time of this recording, I think they have actually recorded their first couple episodes, and episode 0 is
Nice.
edited. So I think they're working on it. They got a good setup. They got his partner in this podcast. One of his partners is actually our IT guy at work. So
Oh, nice.
so he's gonna have a good quality, good setup, and I'm excited for him. So
Oh yeah, and I think what
we
do
got two more. We got two more here.
Oh yeah, we do. Hit them
both
off.
both
Read 'em
from
off.
both from the same person. This is Michelle. I'm not gonna say
Who's
who she is.
Michelle?
I'm not gonna say who she is until I finish this first email.
Oh, okay.
Tim Allen was also in Wild Hogs, yes, and Galaxy Quest. Missed those. Also awesome movies. Mrs. Fat Billy Ray.
Ah, there she is.
Yes, that
Hello,
is
Mrs. Fat Billy
Andy's
Ray.
wife Michelle, one of the loveliest ladies you'll
I am
ever meet.
so mad I didn't think of Galaxy Quest. Alan Rickman, just a fantastic movie. I remember the first time I saw it, my uncle took me to go see it at the Dollar Theater in South Bend. And I remember leaving there thinking, what the heck did I just watch?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking
Great
of
movie, though. Great movie.
dollar theaters, might not be a dollar theater, but her second email. If you want to see older movies that were great when they came out on the big screen, the Rochester movie theater is bringing them back and at a great price. See them on the big screen again. So it looks like they have $5 movies. They're showing Space Jam, Teen Wolf,
March.
and Hoosiers.
Ooh, unfortunately, it looks like when this episode
Oh, it
airs,
does.
it'll be after this.
Oh, that's yes.
But anywho,
sorry.
I'm sure they'll do it again, and hopefully
Yes.
she can get us a hopefully they do a better job. Like the theater does a better job of planning this
Yes.
far ahead.
Yes. So, well, if you get a
Teen
chance,
Wolf
then
would
you
be cool to see
yeah,
in theater.
great movie. Michael J. Fox, Marty McFly.
Are you sure?
Positive. So yeah, I guess keep an eye on the Rochester movie theater if you're from the area. Keep an eye on their Facebook page. It looks like they're trying to kick off getting kids in to watch some of these older movies that they probably never seen. So that's exciting. I would love to go watch all those movies.
Oh man, how cool would that be to rent that theater out and like watch Star Wars or
Yes, I'm in. You don't even have to tell me twice. I'm in.
we just got to make it a oh my gosh, there could be a Call Guys event.
Yes. Dude, yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Bremen movie theater, I think, would be a good one. Rochester probably be good too. Well, maybe we'll have to try to work that out. Call Guys screening of one of our favorite movies, Bill and Ted.
I don't
got
know.
it.
I don't know if that would go well with with everybody there because would you just have like a megaphone just quoting the movie from your seat?
The movie is on mute. I have an earpiece in, and I'll just quote it as it goes, not the exact words along the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, how funny would that be?
Dude, that'd be awesome, and I would do it. Totally do it.
Oh man,
Everybody.
Man, that's the only thing I could think about right now.
What, renting out a movie theater?
Yeah,
Cole's getting the ideas.
Make it a Call Guys event, dude. That'd be
I
awesome.
love it. I love it. The call guys go to the movies. Come hang out. Get your not shirts you haven't bought signed.
Just get a shirt signed.
Yeah, any shirt you want to wear. Any shirt.
Any shirt you want to wear.
You don't wear a shirt. Come shirtless. I'll sign your back.
Sign your forearm.
That's right. Yeah, I'll sign
Figure it out.
Wherever you want me to sign, I'll sign.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody, thank you for the emails. It's like we've said every episode. We love reading emails. We love getting the feedback, hearing from everybody, whether it's ragging on us or giving us ideas or sending us your top 5s, top 10, sending us events that are happening apparently and whatever else you have going on. We'd love to hear it. Just let us know. Name your dog after me.
Dude, that's awesome. Like
I
can't believe that. That is just so cool. Like
yeah. I love it.
I mean, I'm gonna say it for like the next 2 episodes, man. But I'm telling you, my favorite thing about doing this podcast are those emails.
Yes.
It's just absolutely boggles my mind that we have a quote unquote cult following and they just enjoy our banter. They enjoy our camaraderie and our movie takes and show takes, and they give back their takes. Like it's just awesome. It's just a neat little community that we have formed, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So
year 2, we're gonna grow that community and make it bigger. More friends, more fans, more everything. Yes.
Like this big?
Like bigger. Like touch the movies behind you that big. The wall. There it is.
I'm already touching them.
So guys, this week is nothing near our traditional episode. We are gonna do a list. Colton and I kind of have different takes on the lists we're gonna be doing. But we're not gonna be talking about movies. We're not gonna be talking about TV shows, sports, anything like that. We're gonna talk about our top moments from this year on the Call Guys podcast and play some of those moments for you and just kind of go through and enjoy the memories that we've made this year and enjoy some of the moments that we thought were the most exciting. So, Colton.
In typical Call Guys fashion, 3, 2, honorable mention 1.
Yep, you got it.
All right, man.
You got it.
I think I'm gonna start with one of my favorite top 3 episodes, and I'm gonna go with musicals. You know, being known as the sports guy, and talking about musicals. My list for musicals were, I think I had like 15 musicals written down, and just going through, and I love a good musical. And actually, I'm a big basketball fan. I love my Indiana Hoosiers. They just had a big win over the Boilermakers and swept them for the first time in 10 years, and I was just so excited. I could not go to sleep. So I was going through like de-escalating things that I try to do to like calm myself down to go to sleep. And I I watched my number one musical, and this clip right here is probably going to be that me talking and fanboying over my number one musical here. So I guess here we go. Here it is.
So before I do my number one, I want you to do your number one because I want to know if I was right. Was I right?
What do you think my number one is?
I was going to say La La Land because you have talked about it many times, but I'm not sure. Should I buy a Powerball ticket or not?
You should. Because
Okay,
it is La La
I knew.
Land.
I figured.
I love La La Land. Obviously excluding that first scene because it is super musicy.
It's just cheesy.
It's super cheesy. Yeah. But I love the story.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy. It is an absolute tragedy, and I think that's why I like it more. Is because the story carries that movie. The songs don't carry that movie.
Yeah.
The story carries that movie. The ending, I get choked up in the ending. He's playing the piano at his club, and he redoes his whole life.
Yeah.
And it's that one moment. I think about this a lot, about how one moment can change your life. And I truly believe that can happen.
Yeah.
And that was the one moment when he walked by her and, kind of got snippy with her, that if that moment would have been different, his life would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
And that it just breaks my heart because I scream at the TV when it's over. I said, they should be together.
Yeah.
They belong together.
I love that will they show up kind of feeling, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he's waiting for her at one point to show up, and she doesn't show up. And you get the same thing in Begin Again with Mark Ruffalo and Adam Levine. Like, all he wants is for her to show up, and he looks out into the crowd and she's not there. And it's just like sad to see, like, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's kind of tragedy too, but
yes, because right before she gets the call back to go do the movie in Paris, he pretty much just says, hey, you go do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe that I got from that scene, is that was how it was gonna be. And obviously he gets the club, and this is obviously, I can't remember how many years later,
yeah,
because she's got a small, like a 4 or 5 year old child. less than 5. Let's just say less than 5 for purposes. A husband and, you know, the life that she probably wanted. She goes back. I love that she goes back to the coffee shop that she worked at and gave him the big tip. And he looks out into the crowd and it just breaks my heart because those two belong together. And going back and, you know, if he kisses her, they go to the jazz club. He tells John Legend to kick rocks so he doesn't start that band, and it automatically just speeds forward to his life and their life together. And oh man, because you're fighting for them to survive the whole movie.
Yeah.
And them wanting to have their own lives, their own dreams, they had to give up each other, I felt like. And to me, that's the tragedy, is that they had to give up each other in order to have their dreams.
Yeah. That's good.
Man, La La Land, I'm telling you, it gets me chills every time. I get so angry and I get so sad because of the ending, and they belong together. Dang it, they belong together. It's a tragedy. Gets me every time, but I love it. So
I think that's been one of the movies that most of our listeners were surprised that was one of your top musicals. I've heard it from a couple people saying, like, I can't believe Colton likes La La Land that much. And I actually think that, I mean, I've heard it a couple times. So
I don't care. I will die on that hill.
It's awesome. I enjoy La La Land. That opening scene on the freeway, it almost turned me away. But if you get past that and you watch the rest of the movie, it is a great movie. So definitely. Man. Very nice. Very nice moment. Very good episode.
Yes, it was. What about you, man? What's your number 3?
I'm gonna go with a guest.
Ooh.
And I'm sure you know who this guest is just by me saying a guest. And I'm
surprised it's this low.
There are other moments that really, really stick out to me from this year, but the Conrad John interview that we had with him, and it's one of those things that I hadn't talked to him in so long, and getting to talk to him about his career and building up his music career and talking about sports and all the stuff with the Eagles, and that being at the beginning of the football season before everything happened towards the end, and him being an Eagles fan, me being a Chiefs fan. And then we just talked about life, and, you know, he's just such a good down to earth guy. And I don't know. I've always enjoyed him as a person and hanging out with him. And so, here's a clip from that episode. Just the beginning, and getting to talk to him for the first time. It's the first time in a long time. All right, everybody, we got Conrad John in the house. Connor, CJ. I don't even know now that we've talked about it.
It's confusing, right?
Yeah. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's living the life. It's hot as hell out here right now. It's like been 100 degrees like every day of this weekend.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're not that bad. We're not that bad.
But you don't get humidity, so it's also like, you know, take one, the other. Like I had my homie up in Florida. I was like, "Is that 100 degrees there too?" And he was like, "Yeah." But the difference is that their humidity is like 80%. Our humidity is like 40.
Yeah, they're sweating. They're sweating the whole time. You got a dry sweat going.
Exactly. More of a sauna versus a steam room.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So what you been up to, man? Let's go back. Let's kick it back, because I haven't seen you in like what?
Like 4 years.
4 years? That's what I was gonna say. 4 years.
A little bit more, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And to be honest, like I'm like, does he even remember who I am? Because we had classes together. We did what, audio.
Yeah, I have a very vivid memory though. Like I remember like a lot of stuff when I was like young. You know, like I definitely remember everybody. I could probably name 5 or 6 people that were in our class. You know, like I still kind of keep up with. But like, you remember Max Readinger?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday was his birthday. I talked to him, so I still keep in touch with him a lot.
Nice.
He's actually, bro. He works for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, we're gonna get into some football talk here in a little
Jeez,
bit
yeah,
too.
we'll get that in. We'll get
He works
that
for the
in.
Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm assuming video.
He runs their jumbotron
Dude.
kind of shit.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs he works on the jumbotron and does like some audio stuff as well. He'll send me videos of him. Like he just met Aaron Donald the other day. He's like Aaron Donald walked up to him and it's crazy because he was talking about how big he is, but Aaron Donald's only like 6 foot. So like the fact that he's just like that strong that he's still like perceived as a big person is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty small for like an NFL interior lineman.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane. Jumbotron operator for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Put that on your resume. That'd be
Yeah.
That'd be sick. But that's good. I'm glad. Dude, I've been following you since since I figured out you were a rapper, which was actually after we graduated college. And like I was like, no way, he's a rapper, because we recorded bands together. Like we recorded Indian old school.
Yep.
And we had
Those
that whole
some of
class
my good
together.
friends.
Yeah.
They just dropped their last album actually, probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
They're all having kids and shit. So
yeah, I try to keep up with them too, but I like once again, I like Spotify is either metal or Conrad John.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
We actually dropped the video together. I have a video at Indian Old School. Some dropped sometime this year. I did it last year during Christmas. We linked up because I grew up with all those guys. Like,
yeah,
I know their dad even. They're all brothers. But yeah, they're super talented. They're actually, crazy enough, they're the first people I've ever written a song with. Before I ever was even a rapper or anything. Like, I wrote a rock song with them when I was just staying the night at their house. It was probably like 7th grade.
That's awesome.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how did you get started into rapping? If that was the first time you ever recorded a song before you were rapping.
Yeah, that was the first time I wrote a song. We didn't record it. I remember we woke up the next morning. We were like, "This is some bullshit." It was like a corny little love song. It was so bad. But we also we had I went to LaPel in 8th grade, and actually I went to LaPel with all them too, and they ended up staying there. But I went there in 8th grade, and I hated it, and I just had to. It was like one of those. I just didn't really. I don't know. It was too whitewashed for me, I guess. Like I need something with like nothing to happen. People would like blow up drama that's not even really drama. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was that kind of shit where I don't know. I just from more of a rough crowd, and I'm used to that more. So I went there, and I was just really bored in class one day, and I just started like making fun of people in class, like rapping, I guess. And somebody's like, "You're kind of good at that." And then I just started messing around with it on my phone. And this is like the same time I really dove into the genre as well. Like it was when I was really into like Kid Cudi and Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was like my Jesus of rap.
He was God. Yep.
And this is like the No Ceilings era. So like Lil Wayne was just the awesome, like just on top of the game. And anyway, I just kind of did it as a joke. And then I got a webcam about the next year. And then I was just like, dude, I'm going to just start putting myself out there. Like, fuck it. People can hate it if they want, but at least I'm enjoying it. And so I just started, recording videos on my Facebook and posting them. And to this day, you can still go to my Facebook and I keep them up to like inspire myself to be like, damn, you was trash, bro.
Yeah.
But that's how I started. Then somebody hit me up on Facebook, some dude I went to school with. I didn't really know him, but he was like, I have a studio, come through. And he made me a beat, and we, the rest is I just started taking it a little bit more serious. But yeah, it all just kind of snowballed each other. But I just started putting myself out there, and eventually somebody asked you to do a show. Eventually somebody asked you to record, with them. That's why I always try to tell people, like, dude, you got to put yourself out there. You got to go to other shows, support other people.
Yeah.
Or nobody's gonna know. Like, you can be the best rapper ever, but if people don't even know you rap, then what good is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I just enjoyed talking to Conrad, man. He was so fun to talk to and sit down with. And in that episode, he did talk about his new album dropping, Fully Frosted, the sequel to Slightly Sauced. It did drop. The album is killer. If you want to listen to it, go check him out on Spotify. He did also drop a music video a couple weeks ago too. So he's got a new album. He's got a music video. He's got another music video coming. And from what he said, I actually listened back to that episode a couple days ago, and he's got more coming. He's got another album already finished. And
Yeah, I remember he had a lot in the archives.
So, I'm excited.
I'll be honest. That was the first time I've ever interacted with him. I've only heard stories from you, obviously, about him, and just such a cool dude. Like, I really hope he just makes it, because he seems like that dude who would really give back to where his roots and where he started from, and I think he would do right, and I'm really pulling for him. So,
well, look for him on episode 52 because he will be back.
Yeah, buddy.
That's right. So what do you got for number 2? Does it make you cry?
Makes me cry tears of anger is what it does. Okay. Mine is going to be with a guest as well for my number 2 interaction. He's an emailer. He is probably our tied for second most visits as a guest. And this is CT1209, our buddy and friend, Chris. As you know, episode 8?
Yeah, something like that.
Episode 8 was the Lucas episode, the infamous Lucas episode, okay?
Yes.
Where he tries to get me to watch Arrow and get in the Arrowverse in DC and blah, 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 blah. And as everybody knows, if you have stuck it out through 52 episodes of my love for Marvel and my unbiased hatred for DC, and you know what? I give a lot of props to Chris. The man has a hill he is willing to die on, and I respect that. And I think everyone should have a hill that they're willing to die on and be respected for. I can't knock him for being wrong, even if it's the wrong hill to die on. I love Chris, so yeah. One of my favorite moments with a guest is the opening we have. Actually, I believe we were talking Andor, and it's our banter back and forth between DC and Marvel. So here's that clip.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, a 3-time podcast host. And in the red corner, the 6-foot redhead out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, on Vanilla Thunder 4-3. In the blue corner, the 6-foot even Star Wars expert, ready to kick some Irish ass. It's CT09. Okay, boys, I want a clean fight. Nothing below the belt, and keep the slander to a minimal. Chris, you have the floor.
I'd like to make an opening statement for the challenge that Colton issued because of the email I sent, trying to defend his poor opinion. That was my one swing.
That was a swing? Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a swing in Colton's world. But I just want to start with this statement.
Let's hear it.
Marvel needs to figure it out because this phase is awful. Phase 4 sucked. Terrible.
Yeah. The only.
So.
Okay. Let's go. Come on. Let's bring it. Come on.
For those of you who are unaware, that was Colton's opinion of what Marvel's been doing recently, including all of their recent movies and their television. So, I do want to.
As he scrolls through 5 pages of notes.
Come on, let's go.
Man.
I've got stacks on stacks on stacks, brother.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'd love to be combative right now, but I'm gonna come out full candid. Okay.
Ooh.
Full disclosure. I don't think that you're right. No, I'm not.
On what
really,
part? On phase 4 not being good?
You know, so far, you're like the only person on the podcast that's stonewalled this idea that there's no, like, DC's no good, and you really
because
like
it's
that.
true. It's true.
But
I've got stats.
But I think that really I do too.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Like, I'm kind of curious.
So here's the thing. though.
We all have different measuring sticks.
I didn't come on here to tell you that I think that DC's better than Marvel, because I don't think that's a thing. No, I was like 5 when I started collecting comic books. Okay. And I worked at a comic shop for like I don't know, like 5 to 7 years.
Okay. Okay.
And there's this common debate that it like you a lot of times you get like, oh, better DC or Marvel, and people forget about like Boom Studios and Image, which makes like almost as many movies as anybody else, by the way, like Kingsman and like all of this. A lot of comic books that comes out is like Image based anyway. But what you find working at a comic shop is most people that read comics actually subscribe to like Marvel and DC. Like there are heroes they like in both. I personally a lot of times follow writers or artists. One of my favorite artists that worked for DC for years went to Marvel, and one of Marvel's big writers recently went to DC, but I don't really like him. So I liked his Marvel stuff that much anyway. But so I didn't just come on to tell you that I think that you're wrong because like DC's good. I came on to tell you that I think that you are a weird place of thinking that you can only like one. And I think that you can actually like both. Like, and I'm not saying that all of DC stuff is, I'm the first that's going to tell you there are Marvel movies that I do not like, that I have never watched a second time. But if you like superhero movies, you can like both. There's not like, you don't have to pick a side. But I think it's like a thing, like it has to be, but I don't think it does.
Okay. So So what did James Gunn recently come out and say? I know this is the 8th, but I believe he said this yesterday, which would have been the 7th. Do you know what he just came out and did?
No.
He just came out and he scrapped Wonder Woman 3.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he scrapped a couple other movies, and he pretty much just flat out said, we are starting over because Snyder sucked.
Yeah, which is
That's
weird.
pretty much what he said.
Okay, so I did know that.
And you go. I'll give you the floor for a sec.
It's just I think the Snyder suck thing is more of a Warner Brothers problem overall.
Hey, there, man, you're in the same bed together, brother. You got to lay with it, okay?
That's interesting that you say that because they also made the Batman, and you like that, and you say that it's separate. But Warner Brothers came out several years ago and said all of their movies are considered their own things, even if they combine certain ones.
Okay. How come DC can only get it right for one superhero? Tell me why.
Did you
this isn't the 70s and the 80s,
Wonder
okay?
Woman? Did you watch Wonder Woman? Answer the question. Have you watched any of the movies that you talk about being crap?
I've watched the first one. I have not watched
the first Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't bad.
Think that's a good movie?
I did not like it.
How much better did you think it was than Black Widow? Because that's DC, who came to the party late, made a female superhero movie that was much better than one that Marvel had sat on for years.
I have talked about it. You go back on that podcast and you find Black Widow should have been made instead of Captain Marvel. I don't care. That movie should have been made sooner. I agree with you there. 100%.
I mean, Captain Marvel's awful too. You're right.
Oh, that movie
they can't do any women movies. I agree.
Well,
I don't know anybody who likes Black Panther that much. I think Black Widow's
story would have been better.
Yeah, and I think that it could have been done better because it was not very good.
Well, I also agree with that, but I don't want to segue completely off this topic yet, but I just rewatched Rogue One, and I have a found appreciation for Rogue One now that I've watched the Andor series. Because I used to hate Rogue One. I did not like it. It was
I love Rogue. I always have, but I think I said that in one of the other episodes. So.
And it just, you knew what was going to happen at the end, and I didn't care, but now I care because there's backup to how we get there. Like, so I'm okay with it. I wish they would have done that sooner, and I still think Black Widow should have got a movie way sooner than any other of the female movies that have came out.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, but I'm going off strictly from a business aspect because Warner Brothers is competing with Disney for revenue.
But right now Disney sucks. Like
but there's
anybody who thinks Disney is a good company right now.
People are still going to the movies. That's the problem. Is that people are still going to the movies.
I agree.
Do you wish Warner Brothers wish they had this problem right here? They wish they had this problem. They would die to have this problem. But the only superhero they can figure out is Batman. Why? Why can they only figure out Batman?
But see, I don't agree with that. I don't, because I think Wonder
But the
Woman was
money,
good.
if you look at the money and you follow ticket sales, the Batman movies always put people in the seats and they go back again.
Well, Chris, guess what? I think I'm still correct. You want to know why I know I'm still correct? Because of this list right here. I know you can't really see it, but this is just the box office of the top Marvel movies and the top DC movies and where they rank. Okay? So, I mean, is it weird? Do you think it's weird that in 2021 that Eternals made more money than Suicide Squad by about, I don't know, $110 million? Eternals. What are you doing? That's just one example. So, as always, Chris, man, I love it when we get together and we butt heads over it. It's just fun. I'm excited to have you on 52. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that topic. It's going to be fun. And like I said, for those who listened a little bit earlier, Chris has got a podcast coming out. Can't wait to plug it and just start, trying to get that going. So, yeah, man, that's my number 2. Gunner.
And in the red corner.
Dude, that was
such a great moment.
That was a great intro. So
yes, it was.
So yeah, Gunner, you're number 2. Does it make you cry?
I think I'm gonna flip my 1 and 2 that I have written out here.
Oh.
I'm gonna say no, it doesn't make me cry.
Okay.
But I think that this was one of our best episodes. And the unfortunate part is that Colton wasn't even on this episode. And it was one of my favorite things was that Sydney took this episode by the reins and she just went with it and she did it with me flawlessly. Like she was on here every week with us. It was she sat down, we talked, she went through, and that's the kind of person Sydney is. Like that's how she can talk. So I'm gonna say that episode 23, yes, was the Disney episode, and that that was one of my favorite episodes from the year. We just talked about our vacation to Disney, our couple's vacation, me, Sarah, Sydney, Lucas, and everything that we did. I edited together a video and we watched the videos, we talked, and it just kind of took us through the week at Disney, and it was fun to go back and listen to, but also to record because she just did such a great job explaining and talking about our trip, and I was just kind of along for the ride. And actually, to be honest, going to Disney, I was just along for the ride. So, yeah, here's a clip from that episode of me and Sydney talking about vacation without Colton because he was out sick.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah.
I surprised myself with how much I enjoyed every roller coaster, every actual roller coaster we did, even up to Universal when we did Hagrid's, and that was an intense ride. Like that wasn't just a Disney ride. That was a ride.
Yeah.
And it was super fun.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you for getting on all of them. I was a little bit scared you weren't going to get on like a couple of my favorites because of
To be honest with you, I probably
Uh-huh.
would have done Velocicoaster.
Really?
if you would have pushed me, and you would have been like, yeah, let's just do it.
Right.
But we were having such a bad time, and we'll get to that.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
We will.
This was so cool. This was harmonious.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like
Mm.
never seen anything like it ever. The way they do the water, the way the fireworks come out in like different directions, the water actually is lit. Like there's lights behind it, and I think the screen. Those aren't actual. They are screens, aren't they? On all three.
Yeah.
Of those?
Well, the parts on the bottom are screens, but then the projections that you see in the sky are all from the water.
Yeah.
That's thrown up. The coolest part for me during this, and like I haven't seen these shows. This wasn't a show when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
then like the castle one, which we'll get to. But the coolest part during Harmonious, do you remember when like the whole ring of fireworks shot up towards the middle and then
Yeah.
all the buildings turned on, like
Yeah.
all the twinkle lights? That was so the timing, and they do this every night.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts.
Enchantment.
Yeah, enchantment.
Yeah. Yeah, that every single night.
Every
That's
single
what blows
night.
my
And
mind.
same with Harmonious too. Like,
Yeah.
or yeah, this was Harmonious. Yeah, same with Harmonious. It's
Yeah.
insane that they do it. It's like I said, the grand finale of Chapman Lake fireworks every
Yeah,
night at
it literally,
Disney.
but it's literally the whole thing is probably better.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. What did we talked about blueberry fireworks when we were there, and
I
I
need to
said,
go with you guys.
yeah, I would say that those are close.
Mm-hmm.
They just aren't as intense as blueberry fireworks, because at blueberry you are up there in it, like you're like, 100 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
This you're watching from a distance.
Right.
So there's the difference in actually feeling the heat of the fireworks and watching the fireworks, and
Right.
feeling the booms instead of just hearing and seeing
Watching them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I got a little turned around in the video editing, but there's Soarin', which was an awesome ride. There's the magic bands,
Yeah.
the way they work, and I didn't really understand the fingerprint thing.
So I asked that because that wasn't a thing
Yeah.
last year. It's in case you lose your magic band that somebody
Look
can't
how
steal
happy
it.
she is.
I know, she's so happy.
So that's just
It's-
in case somebody takes your magic band.
Yeah, so they can't like steal it, which I think that's a little scary that they have your fingerprint, but
Yeah.
this is literally so nostalgic, like the castle.
Did you realize I took this much video when we were there? Because
No.
I was literally filming like the
That
whole time.
what is it called, a gimbal that you
Oh,
had?
that
That was
was-
so
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool shot with the castle. It just came
Yeah.
up with the
Yeah.
Oh, that's man, your phone takes really good video too.
Yeah. Yours does too. You got a nice phone.
I know, but that's the spot. If you're going to Disney, on
Yeah.
the right and left sides of the castle, if you want photos with less people in it, there's little like
Par-
I don't even
It's underneath the parapets on either side of the
Mhm.
castle. You can walk underneath, and there's a little tiny, I don't even know, iron bar fence right there, and you
Mhm.
can stand next to that and get a great shot.
Mhm.
I'll try to post some pictures when I post this up on Facebook.
That's a good
so,
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you were like, we have to take pictures here. I've seen it on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah, I was like, TikTok has told me we need to go here.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, there's Sarah's favorite ride.
so it's I know it's a classic. Should I share my little Disney fact that I learned about Small World that
Yeah, do it.
So the Small World ride has all these dolls in it, and I forget how many dolls are in it, but the humidity makes their hair grow for some reason. So every year they have to go in and cut their hair.
Yeah.
That's a
just creepy.
Disney thing. Yeah. So some of those dolls are really creepy. Did you like Pirates?
Yeah, everything in Magic Kingdom seemed like a show. It wasn't
Yeah.
like it was, the coolest thing in the world, like a crazy roller coaster. Now, if you listen to Alicia's 2-stop episode, that she
Mhm.
talks about at Disneyland, at their Pirates of the Caribbean, they use
Mhm.
actual human skulls as the decorations, and they were told that they couldn't use them anymore, so they said, yeah, we got rid of them. But apparently, if you look at pictures from the 1960s and now,
Uh-huh.
you can tell that it's those old skeleton skulls, so they're deteriorating, and they
What?
never switched them out. Yeah. So they
Oh,
talk
that's
about
freaky.
ghosts and everything. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. It's
That's
weird. You should listen to
freaky.
that episode. It was a really good episode.
Yeah, will you send it to me?
Yeah, I can do that. Was that Splash Mountain?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
Splash Mountain, which they're gonna convert that ride to what? Tiana?
I think
Princess
Tiana's what you said.
Tiana's ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get too wet on that, but that little girl that was in front of us was absolutely
Oh,
terrified.
she was freaking out. And that whole ride is just creepy as all get
It
out.
is creepy.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we would have I wish I would have paid more attention to when these parades were happening.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we just stumbled upon them, and I know they're posted on the app too.
Yeah.
For when because they do this multiple times a day, but the parade was so cool. Of course, Rapunzel was my favorite with Flynn Rider and
Oh
the
yeah, I get
horse.
the float here in a second, and that float is awesome.
So cool. Yeah.
It seemed like every time we walked through there was an event happening.
Yeah. She waved at me there. That little wave she did. I was
You
so
waved at you?
tickled. Yeah, because I waved and I was like, you know what? I am 26 years old and I am going to wave at her. And I have that video on my phone too. But that float is so cool with those guys swinging on that thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like they did it all themselves. It was just it was cool.
I feel like we did all the rides at Magic Kingdom.
I'll list them off here. We did It's a Small World. We did Pirates. We did Peter Pan. We did the Seven Dwarfs. We did Little Mermaid, Splash Mountain. Did we do Space Mountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the indoor one that you sit by yourself.
Yeah. So we did Space Mountain. And we did Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went back and did the Buzz Lightyear Space Adventure.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, having Sydney on here doing that and her just talking about Disney and how much she enjoys it, and her and Lucas are going back this year.
Yep.
And it was an exciting trip, and if you're going, do it with somebody that knows the ropes, and that way you're not getting lost and getting tied up in things that are tied up in lines or tied up in things that you don't want to do. Yeah, go with somebody that knows what they're doing because it helps a ton. And Sydney, if you're listening, you did a great job. I think I've told you that every time you've been on here. So
I've thanked her every time for it.
Yes, it was definitely a fun-filled episode. Colton, number 1.
Ooh, number 1. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, man. I think it's going to be your number 1 too.
It is.
Yeah.
We might as well just talk about.
Let's
do
just
yours.
go. Beer 30, man. That was that episode was, and man, the thing about it is, man, it's the uncut version. It's the being there the entire time and having everything that went down going down during that whole episode. It makes that whole episode. And I know there was only 5 of us there who knows all of it that went down. Like, that's what makes that episode so much better, is that we have so many little quirk things that happen behind the scenes that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people, the thing about it is, I don't think if we even release the uncut version, okay, we release the uncut version, that people would find it as great as what the 5 of us probably think of it as.
Yeah, probably not.
Because I mean, we were, shooting from the hip and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm gonna I don't know about you, man. I don't really have a favorite like cut moment. I'm sure you've got one for me, but I'm curious.
I'll tell you what. I'll find one that I think both of us are gonna like. But I will say that logistically, Beer 30 probably shouldn't have worked out the way it did. Like there were so many. There were like, if I wish I would have posted the picture. I think I still actually have. Maybe I'll post it along with this. But the room in Jared's basement that we were in, there were just wires everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Snake Plissken's camera went out, and Colton at one point was tapping me, pointing at it, saying it's out, and like it was, there were technical issues. There were, noises. We had the girls sitting there, helping us figure things out that we couldn't figure out. We wanted to wrap the topics around the beer bottles. We didn't get beer bottles. We got cans, so we couldn't do that. So we grabbed the bowl. So it was like little things like in our head worked. Once we got there, it just kind of tumbled.
We did, but I think the thing that makes it's almost how our podcast works though, man.
Oh,
we just adapt on the fly and we go. And I thought that was the best thing about it, is that I felt like that episode killed and people don't know the chaos that really went behind it.
Yeah. At one point, Colton calls a couch a chair, and by the end of it, I was pretty drunk.
Oh my gosh!
Snake Plissken wore his outfit.
Yeah, he was in full Snake Plissken, and he pulled up to the house, and Jared's like, "Colton, who'd you bring to the house?"
Yeah.
Oh man.
Definitely one of our most fun episodes that we've had this year, and I look forward to doing 100 proof in 50 episodes.
Oh yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. So I'm excited. So Yeah, man. Hopefully everyone loves this clip. So here it is.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise. I'm not going to say it this time. I'm going to do a different intro because this is a different episode. Welcome to Beer 30. Alongside me, as always, my good friend Colton Keel, as I like to call, or as I like to call him, Juan Keel 43. And as you can see, if you're watching the YouTube, we have some special guests here in Jared's basement where we're doing this podcast. We have Jared, P-Tart 101.
Ooh.
That's right. Lucas, the little G Sumo man, and our unusually special guest.
They call me Snake.
That's right. Long-time listener, multiple-time emailer. Snake Plissken is here, or better known as. Do we say his name yet?
I
Or we
think
just let him go?
I don't
yet.
No, not
We'll let
yet.
him reveal himself
Yeah.
later. Everybody, welcome to Beer 30, where we're going to drink beer. Thank you, Lucas. We're going to drink beer, and we're going to talk about some topics that we have in this bowl over here. And we're just going to shoot the shit and have a good time. Yeah?
Yeah. I think that sounds good, man.
So, Colton,
Yeah.
how was your
What's up,
week?
man? Dude, man, it's a week. We survived. We survived. Yeah, man, work is work. Slowing down, but still busy.
That's a story every week at this point.
I know. Until it gets
picks back
real
up.
cold. Until it gets real cold, then it picks back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just kind of hanging out. Doing pretty busy with the family this weekend, and probably gonna watch some football. Outside of that, man, what about you?
Football.
What about you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Not a whole lot went on this week. It's been kind of quiet, which I like. So,
Nice.
yeah. Jared,
So-
how about you? How are you doing? what episode was Jared on the Call Guys?
I want to say for some reason episode 8 is coming to mind.
I was gonna
Okay.
say 7, but I don't know.
And what did we talk about with Jared?
Music.
Literally everything. I think we
Music,
literally talked about everything.
games.
Music, food,
Yeah.
you name it.
Yeah.
We played that fun music game with them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't think of a band that started with R,
Yeah.
and my favorite band is Blink 182. So
Rush.
Right. Yeah. The band that started with R, my favorite band is Blink 182.
exactly.
How's it going, Jared?
Not bad. Happy to have you guys all in my basement.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
It is. This is going to be super fun. Lucas, welcome back.
Thanks, sir.
The man that hates us.
I was gonna say, I feel like if anybody needs an apology,
yeah.
it's Lucas. Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas.
He needs an apology, but did we give him an apology?
See,
I
that's
don't want it from
the
Colton.
thing. I mean, that's the thing with
we need
this
the
kid.
Emperor on here.
We do need the Emperor on here because he is the one who probably took the most shots at him.
But I take claim for the worst episode.
well,
in the Call Guys podcast.
that's a sign of a leader. Okay, is taking blame for things that went poorly and
I mean, it could have
accepting
been.
why
I
things
think
went
Colton
poorly.
could have been the major reason why that episode went so poorly.
No, the
But we're
major
not gonna go
reason. The
there.
major reason is because DC sucks. Okay,
I
we're on
haven't heard that in the Call
it
Guys
is-
episode in a
Hey,
long
I
time.
know, and it still
Colton,
sucks.
That is not a question.
You don't know. You don't know what's in that.
You don't know
bowl.
what's in. Yeah, that's right. You don't.
That is true.
Well, Lucas, I'm happy you're back.
Yes.
I don't even know if you've still been listening to us, but I'm just.
I don't
happy
think he
you're-
has.
You've
I think
you
I've
decided to
listened to
join.
about 15 of them so far.
15.
15.
15. We're on number 30.
Of 30.
15 of
He's
30. Wow.
50%
But
over
30
here.
aren't out yet.
Yeah, but you just ruined podcast
Yeah.
logic.
Yeah. Good job,
I
Lucas.
think everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
We're doing this week of, okay? Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Sit there and be thankful.
I'll just sit back and relax.
Snake,
Yeah.
how's it going?
You know, very appreciative to come on the podcast.
We appreciate the email.
Emailed multiple times.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciated the apology on the last snub email. Give proper lists. I'm excited to see those come out on the menu. Just really enjoyed the pod since it dropped. Been since day one, episode 1. Been a long time listener. Enjoyed almost every single one. And later might go past the pseudonym that I use to just address everybody and kind of bring everybody up to speed. But I do know one of the co-hosts pretty well, and looking forward to getting into some conversations today, hopefully about one of the co-hosts.
I'm just glad you were able to find time out of your busy schedule of saving so many broken, prodded down cities.
When the president's plane is hijacked and flown into a building in New York, which is turned into a penal colony, you send in your best, and you send in Snake, and he goes in there, and he gets the president out with the help of the Duke, scaling the walls. And then, when the San Andreas fault hits, and the city of Los Angeles becomes an island, I can't keep my straight face sometimes. And the city of Los Angeles becomes an island unto itself. It becomes another penal colony. You get out there.
You play basketball.
You play basketball, that's right. And sometimes you have only a certain amount of time to make a certain number of shots, and if you don't, well, you ain't going to make it out alive.
No, you're not.
So it's a good thing I practiced them half-court one-handed shots.
Oh, my gosh.
Made it out.
That's great. I'm glad. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
I'm happy you're here.
Just stepping away for a second. Those of you who don't know, it includes people on this podcast, all right, about Snake Plissken. Okay, the main protagonist of John Carpenter's Escape from New York and Escape from L.A. All right, if you don't know who it is, look it up. That's all you need to do. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, out of all the clips that you had, man, that was a good one. I know there's some that we left out, and we could have used those. So, email us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com and tell us what we should have picked. Maybe, I don't know.
There's 3 hours of that episode that you have to choose from. So.
you got enough there you got enough there. So, man, that was just such a fun time, great time, and I can't wait to do it again, brother.
Oh yeah, me too. I think I don't know that we need more people.
Ooh.
I think the same group we had would be great for another group episode. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to figure out logistically once again when, where, and how, and just getting it done. And we've got a while to plan it out yet. So
yes, we do.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this episode and you've been listening the entire year, or maybe you're a new listener and you want to go back and listen, there's some moments that we really enjoyed as a part of the podcast, and let us know what your favorite moment was from this year if you've been listening the whole time, and send us an email to thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Now I do have one more thing I want to mention.
What's that?
All of our guests that have been on this year, I just want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your nights to sit down and record with us and chit chat and talk. And, it's what makes this podcast a little bit better. It's not just me and Colton sitting here talking. We get a third perspective. And, there are episodes where Colton and I just want to sit here and chit chat. But I think that having you guys on here, Emperor, Lucas, Jared, Chris, Nick, Sydney, the Murdnerds, Conrad John, Jake the Snake Plissken, Quarter Books and Booze, Tony, Sarah, Logan, Montana. Y'all made this year easier by coming on and being our third voice. So, or fourth, fifth, sixth voice, or fourth voice. It's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to doing it all over again here in the next 52 episodes. So,
man, that's crazy. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's right.
That's a good list.
Dude, I know, and I'm hoping we get more.
I know.
I'm hoping to expand and get some people on here. Because I know I've been in the works with a couple folks. It's just about, having them come on for the right episode. And
yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. The guests, I'm telling you, man, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, dude, this would be a great such and such episode for such and such, and
Yeah, the unfortunate part is we think about it last minute and we're like, crap, they're gonna be busy. Luckily, we have some friends out there that are like, yeah,
done.
I'll be right there. Send me the link.
Oh yeah,
I'm on my way. So yeah, this year, look forward to seeing me and Colton hopefully in the same room a couple times, doing a podcast, doing some behind the scenes stuff, talking about just whatever, more social media posts, more, a little bit more of everything. So
yeah, man.
I'm I'm ready to put the pedal to the metal and see where we can get. And next week,
Gotta get past 52, brother.
next week's episode is going to be a fun one for everybody out there. And like we said at the beginning of the episode, we've been recording,
Yeah, man.
here and
Weeks.
there. Yep, the last couple weeks, and I really hope that you all enjoy what we put out for that, and all of the people that came on to discuss and talk and ask us questions. So it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a lot of edit time, but it's gonna be well worth it. And
Oh yeah.
Colton, do you have anything else you want to talk about from year one?
Man, I mean, I know I've talked about it again, and I'll always keep talking about it. It's just how grateful I am for all the emails we get. It's just,
Oh yeah,
it's just amazing. As much as our guests run our ship straight into the ground to the in the empire, I feel like our emailers just they're just as good as our guests. Like
oh yeah,
it's just it's hard to put into words how grateful I am for the emailers out there and just the interaction that we get to have with them. It's just fantastic. So
Yeah.
I'll never stop being grateful for them. So yeah, just keep emailing, and yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got.
Yep.
I think you knocked it out of the park with the guests, and like we are a real, I don't want to say we're not supported by our guests in our emails, but I think it's what makes our podcast good.
I do
is
too.
the email interaction and the guest interactions that we're able to get from our guests. Like, it's fantastic. It's awesome.
It is. I I try not to read them before we sit down to get into an episode, but sometimes it'll pop up. I'll get the notification. I'll see who it's from, and I'll be like, "Oh man, I got to read it." so yeah. I appreciate everybody, and just appreciate you, Colton, and sticking through it. And
Yeah, man, I mean, you really are the muscle of the group here. So, man, I appreciate you, man. It's just awesome. I can't believe, like I said, I can't believe we made it this far. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to a whole nother 520 episodes.
oh my,
That'd be 10 years of podcast. Can you
oh
imagine?
my.
Can you imagine?
Ooh.
All right, well, let's close this out so we can get some rest before we get into some more 52 interviews and get
That's
into some
right.
more stuff that we are doing here for the podcast. And yeah, so if you got nothing else, I'm about to do your favorite part of the podcast.
Hey, Gunner, you got my plugs.
I sure do. Everybody, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can get us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube. You can like, subscribe, click that bell, get notifications when we upload every Monday, along with the podcast on all your favorite podcast sites. You can find us on YouTube. That's just search for the Call Guys podcast. Don't really think we ever had a link, but go search for the Call Guys podcast. You can also find us on all your favorite social media accounts, whether that be Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at the Call Guys, and TikTok at the Call Guys podcast. Please, we've mentioned the email all the time because we just love getting the emails. So send us one, whatever you want to send us. If you want to tell us your top 5s, top 10s, you want to give us recommendations for an episode, you want to still send book recommendations. I haven't really got a whole lot yet, so waiting on that one book I get multiple recommendations for before I read it. So
Genuine multiple
yes,
emails.
yes, genuine. That's for sure. So yes, when you're done listening to us, make sure you're checking out all the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment network of podcasts, whether that be the Golden Image podcast, the Murdnerds, Indiana Chiefs Fans podcast, A Court of Books and Booze, or the United States of Paranormal podcast. You can find all those podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. All of their information is always in our podcast notes.
Killed it, man. You killed it.
Killed
it. Got him. Got him.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, kill him. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right, Colton. Everybody out there in podcast land, we'll see you next time.
Later.
Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun.